everybody. Thank you very much for coming back again to the PigSty tonight. Yes, you're unmuted now. Are we live yet? Are we live yet? Yes, we're live. Everybody, thank you very much for coming back tonight. We have been joined tonight by a person who has 3 names. Used to be Red Person.
Wrong.
If anyone known Red Person or seen Red Person in the chat, Savage Minnow is now Red Person. Randomly appeared about, 2 months ago? Maybe 3 months ago. I did an open mic and she was like, I've been here for ages. I just thought I'd jump on, you know. So, Red. I'm going to call you Red because it's only 1 syllable and way easier. So, Red, would you like to introduce yourself? Let people know. All your links are in the chat as well.
That's fine. Yeah. I am Red. That's pretty much what everybody calls me. I'm a person. My pronouns are whatever you feel most comfortable using. I'm also Savage Minnow, aka my stage name is Ophelia Hartwig over on Twitch. I used to have a crafting channel over there. I've kind of got some health issues that basically I can't really like sit and craft with my hands for that long. But I did kind of segue into more just like random reaction content and that sort of thing. And used to be a friend of Jimmy Snow's, and
We're going to get into that. We're going to get into that.
Kind of made a video calling him out as a friend when some stuff went down, and that kind of like seemed to catch some views. So I've kind of been running with that, I guess, a little bit, but that's not all my channel is about. I also do reactions to Amberlynn Reed live streams lately, and my mom in the past has been on my channel on Fridays, and we do a segment called Gamer Mom Cooking, where we kind of talk about cooking a little bit sometimes, but also I just like read her posts off of Reddit and she reacts to those. So it's just me and my mom hanging out shooting the shit.
What a big age difference from her mom? Is she technically, she knows the internet and stuff, or is she like, you know what I'm trying to say, you know?
She does, she's familiar with Facebook. She still doesn't really understand what Reddit is. So that is kind of fun. Just like trying to explain to her that like, okay, that's a subreddit, and then there's like replies on the subreddit, and she's like, okay, so it's like a Facebook group. And I'm like, yeah, it's like a Facebook group. We also do, I was telling Pig, I do a green screen on that one. I actually use a remote camera, and we do it in my sunroom, and then we green screen and put pictures from actually the landscapes from, guys have ever played Oregon Trail 2 back in the day? It was a big game when I was a kid, and my mom played like literally hundreds of hours of it. So
so you just started Twitch first before YouTube?
So I did actually originally start on YouTube back in the day, and it wasn't exactly the safest place for I'm gonna say a genderqueer person, because we didn't actually have a word for non-binary back then. And I wouldn't say that it was like a dangerous space, but it was not the most welcoming. And I kind of left streaming at that point, and then got back into streaming actually through Twitch. So I did have an existing YouTube channel. It's technically older than my Twitch channel.
The first question I usually ask is like, what brought you to the internet? What made you stream? Is you'd have been into the gaming and stuff like that and doing that first, and then
yeah.
Coming across Jimmy Snow in this community, he'd have been your first incidence into this community. Then what would it have been?
Yeah. I think back then I was like pretty much just like watching Amberlynn Reed videos and stuff like that.
I
have
no idea who that person is, although I did watch that stream of yours. She doesn't look like the very most intelligent person in the world, like, but
so yeah, Amberlynn Reed, if you guys aren't familiar, is, well, she started out as a she said it was going to be a weight loss YouTube channel, but she has gained at least a couple 100 pounds since then. So it's more kind of like a lifestyle channel and stuff, and it's kind of one of those channels where you just watch and you're like, well, my life could be worse.
It's that bad you can't look away.
But the other thing is that I almost feel this sort of like kinship with Amberlynn, because she and I are both from like a really rural area, and like there are certain like judgments I think that like go along with that. We're also both queer people in a rural area, and so like I will like make fun of some of the things that she says and stuff like that, but I don't make fun of her as a person, and that's like really on my channel. I also make fun of Jimmy, and some of the things that he says, but I don't ever like make fun of who he is at the core. And that's, I think, an important thing for me is that, yes, I will absolutely talk shit on your opinions, but I'm not gonna like talk shit on you as a person.
Well, saying that now, a lot recently, there's a lot of stuff on your channel, as you say, has been reaction videos to Jimmy.
A lot of reaction videos to Jimmy, yeah. I
Is
did
there
do
a particular reason for that? You know, as you say, you found Jimmy when you come into the community, and now the content that I've seen over this last 2 weeks has just been pooing on Jimmy.
Yeah, I did 2 weeks. Well, it was originally supposed to be 1 week of Jimmy retro reaction videos in preparation for this week, but it ended up my Nana passed away last week, so we kind of had to push stuff back. But thank you. But yeah, basically, I wanted to kind of talk about how basically Jimmy tied into the whole fall of the Non Sequitur Show, which is what my video today was about, and that was kind of my way of kind of drumming that up, was doing a week of Jimmy retro reacts.
What now?
Also,
there's people in the chat that'll know the whole story and all that there for a round of all of that. But as someone who's only like, how long would you have been into the community? How long ago did you hear the Non Sec or whatever?
When it was live, like when it was happening.
But what is right now, this second, this last wee while has got your attention to do the research into it? What has got your excitement to find out what is happening or what did happen? Like, because from everyone else's point of view who's been watching it for fucking 3 years, we're all sick and fucking tired of it.
So I think for me, I fell for Jimmy's lies for so long that I just listened to what Jimmy had told me about the Non Sequitur Show, and I was like, oh, okay. Well, if Jimmy says that's what happened, then that's what happened. And it was so long ago when I was really like very early into, like I said, I had a YouTube channel at the time, but it was like, it was a nothing YouTube channel. Yeah. And his channel was like getting huge, and like it was like one of those things where it was like by association, like I was like proud of him, but like also really looked up to him, and I just like whatever he said and was like, oh well, he's saying this, so I just, well, that's the way that it is. And then since then, this has been years coming, but it's been little bits, little pieces. And then finally with the whole video, the first video with Gabby Hanna, when he talked about that he is friends with Gabby Hanna, and I was like,
we'll all have a wee choke there. Yeah, go on ahead.
yeah. I was like, okay, like this, I'm not defending you anymore. I'm not saying, oh, okay, well, like, you know, we'll take the good with the bad, and overall I promote you, and overall I support you, and overall I'm giving you money every month, and overall I'm buying your merch for myself and for my partner, and you know what I mean, like that kind of thing.
So it was more of a, I'm gonna find out the truth for myself, and then it has developed then into that.
And that is exactly what happened. And so when I first made that video about Jimmy, Steve McRae commented on one of my videos, and I had this like a little bit of a fangirl moment. I'm gonna admit it. Like I was like, Steve McRae commented on my video. Like you go back and see the comment and how I replied to him, and I like.
You've been on this channel long enough that I can kick you for saying that and bring you back again.
Okay, but here's the thing: is that, like it's still like somebody who has like an online following and like has, you know what I mean, like, and as somebody who is like up and coming on the platform, there's still like, okay, here's the thing, like we were saying earlier, Richard Dean Anderson is an asshole. Okay. Would you still not like a little bit fanboy a little bit for Richard Dean Anderson, knowing that he's a dick?
Maybe 5 or 6 years ago when he could reach up and high five me, but right now he might have a heart attack. But yeah, 5 years ago I would have felt.
Oh my gosh! I have this story to tell you about RDA. When I met him in Canada, and he was in like 2 casts and a leg cast. And I was like, what the hell? Like what?
What do you mean 2 casts and a late cast?
Like 2 arm casts. One that had his arm
casts
like,
on
out
your
at
arm.
the side.
Right, yeah.
And one just like half cast. And like a walking leg cast. Like he could walk, but like it was like a boot kind of thing. And I was like, what the hell? Right? Me and my boyfriend at the time were like, what the,
Stunting or messing around or?
What?
Was he in a stunt that went wrong or?
This was like 7 years ago, 8 years ago. Like, no. So he was babysitting a puppy. Right? And he has, it's good. It's good. So I think it was like his sister-in-law's puppy or his sister's, I can't remember, but it was a family member's puppy. It was over at his place, it was playing with his dog, right? And the puppy loves chasing the Frisbee more than his dog does. His dog's a little bit older, doesn't chase the Frisbee anymore, but they're playing in the backyard. He's throwing the Frisbee. There's like a hill down to a pool at the bottom of the hill. And he throws the Frisbee and the little dog goes chasing after the Frisbee and the Frisbee goes in the pool and the puppy jumps in after it. And Rick is like, oh shit, the puppy's in the pool. And goes running down the hill, trips over something in the yard, breaks both of his arms, like dislocates his ankle. And as he's like laying there in like total pain, like yelling for whoever to come, he looks up and realizes dogs can swim.
Yeah.
Like puppies can swim.
Yeah.
It's like you're a dumbass.
MacGyver got knocked out by a little puppy.
That was MacGyver. Yeah. Like that's, whew, yeah.
So there's a love of sci-fi there. We were talking. We've been
Yes.
fucking chatting. We did an entire fucking hour-long chat nearly before the whole fucking show. So you're
We
into
did. I was like,
Stargate.
hey, can I check my camera?
Yeah.
And then we just sat here and hung out.
So you're like sci-fi. Sci-fi something that you personally are into.
Oh, but yeah, getting back to what we were saying. So I kind of had a little bit of a fangirl moment when I saw Steve in the chat. And so, and he said, hey, you can go back and look at that video and see the comment and the response that I made to him. And he was really nice to me. And he said, hey, feel free to reach out to me on Twitter. And I did.
Yeah.
And he gave me like a shit ton of videos, which I think like when I got back to him and I was like, hey, so I've watched this much of the videos. So I'm not sure if like you address it in like these other videos, and like started asking him questions. I think that he was a little bit taken aback because I literally like when he sent me that message, I like started watching at like 1.75 speed, like all of the videos that he sent me. Cause I was just like, I'm like that kind of nerd. Right. And he was like, oh shit. I was like, so can you give me like exact dates for these things? And then by that point, I think I had contacted you and you had like maybe sent me like 1 or 2 things. And I just kind of like started looking a little bit. And I think that was around the time that I had found. What was that?
This is where you throw me under the bus and blame me for making it.
Well, no, I think you had sent me over to Nate Brody's channel. And you said like go dig there. I don't know exactly where to look.
Yeah.
Excuse me. But go dig over there. And a few other places that I think it was just like one of those things where you like find a link and find a link and find a link. Yeah, you know what I mean?
Rabbit holes.
And I started just like, at that point I started like making a playlist where I was just like, okay, like this is stuff that I like need to go back and find. And I just started like asking all kinds of people whose names were thrown around. And some of them got back to me and some of them did not. And, some of them did get back to me. And then when I started asking for like specifics and, like actual like dates or any type of receipts or that sort of thing, then, they just blocked me or disappeared or unfollowed or
Yeah.
And then now here I am going to throw you under the bus a little bit because I made you a mod on my channel and then lost 10 subs. So
oh, come on now. Everybody loves the pig. Everybody loves the pig. I'm offended by that.
No, I was like, you know what? Here's the thing is anytime that I've ever like lost subs or members when I had like a monthly mail order business and stuff, it's always been like things like that where it was like for instance, last year, I lost members in my subscription service when I like posted on my social media about Black Lives Matter. And people were like, oh, well, all lives matter. And they like sent me a nasty email and then like unsubscribed from my mailing list. And I was like, don't let the Lord hit you where the good Lord's bloodshed, or don't let the door hit you where the good Lord's
that's a good
bloodshed.
thing as well, because they're showing their bias that you personally would agree with, I personally would agree with, we're right, obviously. But, yeah, get rid of the dead weight.
Yeah. And it's like, I will respect anybody's opinion, but like, there are like, you know what I'm saying? It's like, if you really want to like think to yourself all those stupid things, you're absolutely allowed to, but like, here's what my opinions are. And I'm not going to attack you as a person. I'm not going to say that you're a bad person, but like, I'm going to say that like your views are a little bit racist or, like something like that. But again, I will attack people's views and opinions. I don't attack people. And I don't think that Jimmy has done some asshole shit.
You think he's seen the videos?
My videos, yeah.
And has he sent anything to you?
He unfollowed me in a few places that I specifically only had my gamer tag. Yeah. Yeah.
So he unfollowed you?
He unfriended me and he unfollowed me from several places.
That's I don't know, the way you're putting, I don't know, that to me just seems so little importance.
But
if he'd
why
have made
would
it,
it be...
considering who he is, though, I'm coming across as a blunt bastard. Sorry, but
here's the thing: is like I'm not active on Twitter, so there's nothing to attack of me on Twitter.
Yeah, and Twitter is sort of the subset of YouTube where everybody lives when they're not live, isn't it?
I guess it is. Yeah.
Yeah, so you know that he has
true.
seen them. He's just unfollowed you. That's the worst that's happened.
Yeah. But that's not the worst that's happened to a lot of other people. I got off easy.
Yes.
That's I want to like make sure that like I put that out there, that it's not like, oh, that's all he's done to people, because no, absolutely. He has been vicious to people who have come out. Now, here's another thing, and part of the reason why he maybe hasn't said anything. I know his legal name, and I won't say it on stream here.
Billy Bob Thornton. No.
Jimothy Snowman with 2 N's. It's the German spelling.
Makes sense.
No, and it's not even James. And I think like that's like people are like afraid to like, because he put out this thing where he was like, you do not say my real legal name. I was like, people are like afraid to like call him James. I'm like, you can call him James.
Well, no, I can understand that. I spent a year not even showing my face. My first year's all
I get it.
blue
And I
floaty
think that
heads.
that's part of the reason why I've gotten off so light, is that I absolutely do know his given name, and I'm not going to say it. And he knows that.
Lots of people know my given name. I would say there's probably maybe 60% of the fucking chat knows my given name, but they're not going to do anything with it, I don't care.
Well, and
anymore.
that's Jimmy really has that guarded, and I do think that there are,
in general, not just talking about him, in general with everybody, there's an awful lot with is it synonym? Not synonyms, it's synonym, whatever the fuck that is we use a different
pen
name.
names. We'll just say pen names.
Pen name, whatever it is. Someone in the chat will tell me I'm right or wrong and correct me even. But there's a reason for that on the internet. I feel that though. Why do you think people do that? I think they've something to hide. Okay, they've either something to hide, or they feel that there is absolute backlash going to happen. They're going to get doxxed, they're going to get swatted or something like that. You get doxxed.
That's what I'm worried about. That's
Doxxed
I mean, everybody
and swatted.
does call me Red, but like, well, like I said to you, I told you what my legal first name is.
Synonym. That's what it is. Hello, Fabio.
Hi, Fabio.
Yes, no, synonym. That's what it is. But I can understand why people do that. But
that's why because I live in a very rural community where literally if somebody had my last name and said, hey, I'm looking for Red, this person, and even was miles and miles from my house, they could stand on a street corner and probably track me down pretty quick.
And do you say stuff that is that bad is going to happen to you? Do you think that the word
I'm married to a trans woman. That's enough where I live, unfortunately.
You will get backlash for that. But you obviously live together. You don't like sneak out of the door at different times or anything like that. I would assume that you would be open enough to a certain retrospect about where you are, yes? Like you walk up the street together and stuff like that. You know?
We're open to our neighbors. And we're open in our neighborhood. But like for instance, in the notice in the paper for my grandmother's funeral, it just didn't have my wife listed.
For safety.
For safety, yeah.
Sorry, Cider, we have just we're rambling. It'll probably come back up again. Give us a minute. We'll get back in a minute.
Did I like get off on a tangent?
Yeah, no, we've been tangenting because we've been talking for like 2 hours, but everybody else has only been watching what 15,
That's
20
true.
minutes. Something like that.
That's true.
Right. Well, I've lost my train of thought. Yes. The reason with the doxing and stuff like that, I forget sometimes that I'm over here, where I am. Now, Northern Ireland, you know, if people knew my name for different reasons, then I would be in a situation, like I wasn't saying I was doxed, so to speak, but I'm in a Catholic disco, they find out I'm a Protestant and I get jumped, you know, so I can understand to a certain point you have to hide, don't let the boy know, don't let anyone know that I'm a Protestant and all that sort of shit, like, so I can understand where it's coming from, but I forget how, because it's just, I don't know, I just accept it maybe. And you just sort of forget that people are assholes. I've been lucky enough that a lot of people around here, maybe a few of the people I work with, would be gender critical and all that sort of thing. Like, but most people would be accepting of it. And I'd say that most people who say that they aren't, if you force their hand, so to speak, and it's like, oh, I don't like gay people, and then your son's gay, they usually just, you know, would flip, so to speak.
Yeah. Here they will sometimes double down. Unfortunately, that was when, like I was saying about that, we had all of the Black Lives Matter rallies and stuff, and me and Savage Mama, love my mom, went out and tried to socially distance and like basically, you know, spread out on the sidewalk kind of thing, where and we had people driving by yelling obscenities at us a lot of the time. Yeah, it was. That's where we live. And there's a part of me that's like,
would you consider
wants to just
moving?
like abandon ship
Right.
and like leave.
No, would you consider moving, or, you know, is it fuck them, I'll stay where I am? Like, America's a big place. You know, there's certain states are cheaper and things like that. There, you know, you can move far away. Fucking 3 hours you drive across all of Northern Ireland. Like,
it's never a fuck them, I'll stay where I am. For a while it was fuck them, I'm leaving, and I did do that. Like I was saying, I did move away for quite a while. Lived over 1,000 miles away. But at this point it's like there are, and I remember when I lived 1,000 miles away that I missed like certain pieces and parts of my community, that it was like this, if I could just like cherry pick the people and things that I love and take them with me, right?
Get a U-Haul for the good people.
right. But you can't do that, unfortunately. No. And you can't do that as far as like, there's a lot of like just like hay rides and like just fun like Midwestern stuff. I know like some of it is like a little bit ridiculous, but like I grew up like riding horses, and like there's just like so much fun stuff that is in the Midwest. And I personally feel like for a lot of people, if you give them the education and the space, they can start to change their minds. And maybe it won't happen in a generation, maybe it won't happen in 2 generations, but I would like to think that I can leave where I live a better place for the next 7 generations down the road, or however many generations.
Well, but I don't think that once you get past a certain age, you're screwed. Like we were talking earlier about our nanas and our grannies and stuff like that. And like my granny came out at 80 and was, fuck yous all, I've been 80 years being nice, I'm not going to say what I want. And, you know, she does, and she's ignorant, and she's a grumpy old lady, but you don't have any fucking quims or qualms, you know exactly what she's thinking. She's honest, she's straight to the point.
Yeah. That's how my nana was.
Yeah.
You're gonna make me a little teary-eyed,
Oh,
but
I'm
yeah.
sorry. I'm sorry. But
No, you're fine.
it's a good way to be. You know, I try and be that way as well, and just be blunt with people and just be straight with them, and you know, get you in trouble sometimes. Like, but it is a better way to be.
Yeah. Yeah. I try, and I see like my Nana. She did say like some of those things, like we were saying earlier, that it was like she would do and say sometimes some things that were just like, Nana, like seriously. But like as she got older, she did in some ways change. I don't think that it's like necessarily you meet like a certain age and you don't learn anything, but it's harder and it's different.
Yes, right. Now, I'll use this as an example, personal testimony and all this here. I would be very put forth of, you know, I have a wee girl. She can do whatever the fuck she wants. She wants to work at the car, she can work at the car. She wants to do this, she can do this. And my mum would be of, you know, my mum, then my granny. And my granny is, you know, racist and old-fashioned, and this is the way it is, and that. And then my mum, I wouldn't say was that, but was raised in that environment and isn't as forthcoming as would be, you know, look at that black man or anything like that. But there is, when we're around the kids and shit like that, my mum would be like, oh, wee girl can't do that. And I'll just look at her like this and just be like, oh, right, sorry, we're not allowed to say that anymore. And I was like, no, but in all honesty, they can do whatever the fuck they want. You know, she wants to play with dolls, she wants to play with a digger. She does both. And I would have to catch my mum.
But see, I don't necessarily think that's generational, because...
But the point I'm trying to put forth is she's willing to change, right? Because I would now be raised by, you know, granny staunch, so to speak, mum's in the middle, and then I would be liberal progressive, so to speak, on these sort of views. And my daughter will hopefully be raised not knowing any of this. My mum's still around my daughter, and even though she's in the middle, she is willing to change. She is willing to make that effort so that when my daughter grows up, you know, for her generation, it won't be a thing. It'll be, oh, my granny used to say the odd thing like that, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. See, and that was for my mom, like when my wife came out, like we were already married at that point, by the way. Like I say my wife, she started out as my husband. I referred, like people who've been watching my channel for a while and then like missed for a while, they're like, wait, I thought you had a husband. Same person.
Well, I'm the opposite, because I thought you only had a wife, and now I found out that they used to be a husband. So I'm the opposite. Yeah. I thought you had a wife.
And she used to be my husband. And when I like told my mom that, she was just like this was, you know, like she'd heard about like Caitlyn Jenner on the news and stuff, but like even my mom in her 60s was just like, she'd never met a transgender person, you know, and it was just like, it was like, I'm glad that my wife wasn't there when I told my mom, because some of the things that she just exclaimed out of just like ignorance,
culture and ignorance, yeah,
were things that like she is not proud of, but it was just, you know, something that came out, and she's since then learned, and she's since then educated herself and that sort of thing. I was like, oh, my wife just transitioned, and then I was like thinking about it, I was like, no, it's been like 3 months, I think 4 months now that I'm thinking about it. So still, to me, it's like still pretty new though. I still feel like she just transitioned.
Yeah. But that's the thing. There's a lot of things that's said, but as I was putting forth, you know, hopefully with generation, I think that is only, you know, it's awful to say, but we're going to have to breed it out of them, so to speak. You know, as one of these Protestants that come over to get rid of the Catholics in Northern Ireland generationally, you know, you need to breed it out of them. It is going to be.
And I think for a lot of them, it's going to like take like having a gay person in the family, or having like your kid marry somebody that's of a different race, or, you know, something like that, where it's like, you're going to have to like be face to face with your own prejudice and realize how stupid it is.
Well, that's, you know, another thing that I think has helped. Shout out to Dave and his quiz and stuff like that. You know, my mum would have come in, I'd have been hanging out with Dave and stuff like that. She'd have talked to him, and then she's going to his quiz, and you know what his quiz is like and who turns up for his quiz. And, you know, my mum is having a fantastic time now, you know, watching all these people and getting to know all these people from different walks of life and different genders and the spectrum itself that it is and all that. As you say, being forced with one and being forced and put across it, then you start to meet their friends, and before you know it, it's just normal. It's like, yeah, they're all the same, you know, everybody's the same.
Well, that's
Phoebe's a little weird, but that's totally nothing to do with the fact that Phoebe's trans. Phoebe's just fucking.
He was just weird. Well, that's okay. So this is kind of like, it's kind of like a family joke a little bit. So my Nana has been friends with these two lovely ladies for many, 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 many years. And it was not until probably just a few years before my Nana died that my Nana realized that they were lesbians. Like,
her reaction was,
she was just like, and I was the one who, I was saying something about my friend who was gay, and she's like, wow, like it's surprising that you have like a lot of friends that are gay. And I was like, you have friends that are gay too? Because she was like, I don't have one gay friend. And I was like, well, what about so and so and so and so? And she was like,
and it clicked.
It's like, you guys have been friends for literally decades. And it was
But
like,
you see, it's that generational thing where they'll not say it, they'll not come out, it'll not be open. You know, which is I hope which we're moving forward with society now is
because my Nana was totally accepting of her friends. It just like took a minute. I mean, it literally took probably 30 seconds for her to like be okay with it and accept it.
Yeah,
it was like
it's the person. It's having that intelligence, though. I would say that awareness.
It's hard to hate across a dinner table.
It's also well, people can be assholes. You find out your son's gay or something like that in South America. I was going to say South America, but the South of America. You know, they could
Southern
be
America.
Yeah, they could be kicked out in the street. You know, they'll double down. They'll go that route. And that's what I'm saying is it goes to a certain level of intelligence, a certain level of acceptance of, you know, it's when you find out someone's like that, you're like, you see past that label, you see past that name, you see past what they do in the fucking bedroom because it makes no fucking difference. And you realize that the person is still the same person. And it's like, right. Okay, they're not all evil like that. You know, I've met Christians that would be old earth creationists and stuff like that have said to me, you need to come to our side. We need more people like you on our side. And it's, you know, originally I'm the dirty atheist. You know, within 6 months or a year of us having a friendship, it's like, yeah, you're more Christian than some of my Christian friends. It's being forced upon that and being confronted with it. You realize that you have to change, so to speak. You have to accept that.
Yeah, I've always said if you need like a book to tell you when to be a good person and like how to not be an asshole, like you're just an asshole. Like that's
all the middle-aged women that bought self-help books are now just feeling really bad.
No, but like really, like I also don't like self-help books, so
no.
I don't have a save for that one. I'm sorry.
No. But I get where you're going. I know where you're going. Christianity, the Bible. I know where you're going. Yeah.
And again, I don't have anything against Christians. I live in the rural Midwest. I did go through like an angry kind of Haiti religion phase.
We'll start out. What age were you when you left religion? Seeing as this channel is what it is and all that sort of shit. Like, what age were you when you left religion?
High school.
What, 15, 16, about 10 years ago?
That's cute. That's cute. Yeah, I was, probably like 14, 15. So I had this kind of experience. I told you about, I had kind of a little bit of a like, I heard the voice of God experience when I was probably like 10 or 11.
Very susceptible at that stage too, at age 10.
Yeah. And then after that, so my dad is Christian and Protestant. And in his church, they have like this whole like kind of coming of age thing that you do like your freshman year of high school. And it might be like the summer between like junior high and high school. So that like 13, 14 age. And you're supposed to like become an active member of the church. So you do this whole like, I don't remember if it was like a weekend camp or if it was like, but we like literally like stayed at the church for 2 nights and did this whole like 3-day thing. And we got like, you know, whatever materials for it and stuff. And then at the end of it, we were supposed to like become an active member of the church. And they like bring you up one by one at the end of this. And they're like, Jimmy, do you wish to become an active member of the church? And then like they like basically it's where we get our like godparents. It's a little bit different for like that religion than it is for some other people get godparents when they're like babies or whatever, but like we get our like church godparents or whatever at that point.
Yeah, no, my wee girl has my brother is my wee girl's no, tell you a lie, my best friend is actually my wee girl's godmother, and her mother's brother is the godfather.
So we get, I think I had like godparents like when I was a baby, but it was like you get like your church god. I don't understand really all that, but like we had like my 2 assigned people in the church that were like my assigned church godparents and everything, and they brought me up to the front and they were like, "Do you wish to become an active member of the church?" And I had just spent like 3 days being, you know, like me, where I'm like, okay, but like I'm gonna go look that up, that verse in the Bible, and like it says this in King James version, but it says this New Revised Standard Version, and you know, because I'm that person. Like,
oh
sorry,
yeah, the girlfriend
like,
asked me the other day, right? Now she is her wee girl has to, or her son has to be christened and confirmed and all that to go to school, Catholic
like
school.
confirmation, I think.
Yeah,
is what
all
it
that
was.
mad stuff. She would consider herself an atheist, and you know, I asked her the other day, she's like, "Do you have a Bible in your house, coming from a Catholic family and all?" And she's like, "I wouldn't have a fucking Bible in the house. Why do you?" And I was like, "Yeah, there's about 6." I was like, "I've got the Gideon
I've got at
one,
least 2.
I've got that one, I've got the King James, I've got you know." I was like, "What the fuck are you doing with so many?" I was like, "Well, it depends what the person reads. You know, the person you're interacting with."
Absolutely. So I had just spent like 3 days being the weird, awkward kid at this camp that like everybody else was like socializing at Jesus camp or whatever. And I was like off in the corner with like, I think I had 2 versions of the Bible. I had the, like I said, the New Revised Standard Version and the King James Version, and just like looking at like, okay. And then like,
This one's
like asking the pastor questions.
Gideon's Bible. I got a Gideon's Bible.
Nice. Yeah, no, I would have been like totally thrown for a loop if I would have had one of those to throw in the mix.
Oh,
Like,
it was a brand new hotel. It had just opened up in Belfast. It's a big, massive hotel, and the boss paid for us to go there for our staff do for the weekend, and it's been stamped with it. And it was the opening weekend of this grand new hotel, and I was like, not only is that a Gideon Bible, not only do I not have that particular version, but it's been stamped with the hotel. This is, you know,
that's how I got my Book of Mormon.
We're rambling. Sorry, go on ahead.
So yeah, I like, you know, was weird autistic kid. I didn't know that I was autistic at the time, but like looking back, it's like, yeah, that was like maybe an autistic moment where like everybody else is socializing and I was just being weird kid in the corner.
Yeah.
And so they bring me up Sunday and they're like, "Hey, do you wish to become an active member of this church?" And I'm like, "No, like I have questions still. I still have questions. Like I'm supposed to like know stuff at this point, and I am like way more confused than I was last week. You can't, like, no, I can't give a definitive answer at this point." And they're just like, okay, like, and everybody's kind of just disappointed, and they just went on to the next kid. But it was, I think, kind of a formative moment in my life as a kid, because I was like, I have these questions, and it wasn't like anybody came up to me afterwards and was like, "So what questions do you have? Like, let's, you know." I feel like maybe if I had been greeted with some apologetics after that, I would have.
I would have like find that a silly name, like apologetics. We're apologizing for God, you know. It just,
it's silly, but you know what? I was watching. So I am one of those weird people who does indeed. I'm an atheist who watches Christian YouTubers, like, just for funsies.
I join their live streams. It's even more fun.
Okay. And there was this one video that I found the other day where she was like talking about Christian apologetics, but like from the perspective of the Christian apologist, like as in it's a good thing, and like here are some things that like you need to like learn to like pull out of your bag whenever the atheists come at you. And I was just like, are you kidding me? Like the entire concept of this video is just like, ooh.
No,
You
some
know
of
what
the
I mean?
Christian channels can be serious for them, but very funny for us.
Yeah, that was the one I have fun watching. She's like, she likes to say that she's not going to tell us what to do, and then is like tells us what to do, which I think is she doesn't directly come out and say it, but she like heavily implies it, and I'm like, I like it.
I would join next time. Join their panels. I'll send you some links, and you can join their panels. That's an awful lot of fun. Join with a bunch of young Earth creationists and scream evolution and entropy at them. They'll go mad, just mad, just fucking insane.
It's to me, it's like it's funny because like my understanding of science is limited, right? I'm not a microbiologist. I'm not an astrophysicist. I only know, like, I've watched Cosmos with Carl Sagan like 15 times, but like that's about it, right? But like listening, I know enough science to like laugh at like when they're trying to explain shit that don't make no sense.
Yeah, they don't get it right.
It's like, okay, but like science, like even I can disprove that science. like physics.
You can disprove physics.
No, I can't. Like that's the thing, is that like
I've had
like,
a debate where a guy wanted me to prove gravity and the existence of gravity, and not just prove gravity, we can all do that, but figure out gravity.
I was like, there's Newtons.
Yeah, no, it was serious. It was like he was just absolutely insane. Jeff had a discussion with him as well, and yeah, proto-stars, therefore God. Gravity and God, same thing. I can't. No, it was like, man, if you want to know more, go talk to a physicist. I can just tell you what I've seen.
Yeah, that's the thing, is it's like, okay, you know what? I am not educated in this, but I am educated enough to like know that like those are the people that I trust, or the people who have like degrees from accredited universities and stuff, like not just like, you know, diploma mill degrees and stuff like that. Like Kent Hovind is not a science teacher. I'm sorry. Kent Hovind is not a science teacher.
What is your, like, I didn't even know young earth creationists existed till I came onto the internet and found Americans.
I didn't know flat earthers were real until I came.
Yeah, that's another thing. That's a joke over here, like. It's
I thought it was a joke here. Even
the anti-vaxxers, there is obviously extremism, right? And we'll not get fucking
I was an anti-vaxxer. Have I told you that?
Oh God, no, but we'll get into that. But even over here, it's more
not
relaxed.
The current.
Yeah. I know people that would be like, it's a conspiracy, it's done this, that, and the other, and all the rest of it. And one of them said this to me, and then I was like, yeah, well, I've got my injection, you know, next week or whatever. And they were like, oh, well, I've already got my first one. My second one will be before your second one. And even though they think it's a conspiracy and think it's this, that, and the other, they still are aware enough to know, you know, it's an actual disease.
You know what? If we had those people in the U.S., we'd be fine, though.
Yeah, because they're aware, even though they think it was made in a lab, they're still aware that it's a virus and is causing, they're open to the evidence of it being sick. Look, this person is sick. Doesn't matter where it came from. They're sick.
Yeah, if they would just believe that here, that would be cool. I spoke to somebody not that long ago who had COVID, tested positive for COVID, and still wasn't sure it was a thing. Like, dude, you got sick. Like, you basically had the flu, but like for an extended period of time. It was beyond what the flu was. Like, but in his mind, that is confirming that it's not real because it was just the flu.
Yeah, but, you know, not to shout at my stepfather or anything like that, and I wouldn't say he's an anti-vaxxer. I should ask him if he did get his vaccine. I know my mum did, but like he said to me that he had COVID the winter before it came out. It's mild. I've already had it. I was like, what? No, you had the flu. No, had definitely COVID. Definitely was.
I've heard that. Yeah.
Right. Questions from the chat. We've been going nearly an hour now. So
can I do a quick old lady bladder break?
Yes, go and do an old lady bladder break. Not a bother.
Okay, I'll be right back.
So, questions from the chat while Red runs off for pee. So if anyone would like to ask them a question, and if anyone also would like to join, if Savage, we should be good, have a wee after party. And BrainBug, Jeff, Cat, Luke, if you're not a chicken, because we need someone to pick on according to Ox. I hate being on stream by myself. This is why I interview people. Thursday we have Crafty coming on 10 o'clock. Crafty Keela. She's been here before, but we've never had an interview. We've never done the whole deconversion story, so to speak, and all that. So Crafty will be here on Thursday. I'm sure Cider and Port, if you're still here, you'll definitely have an awful lot to say about that. Other than that, better hurry up and come back from the toilet because I run out of things to say. Is everybody having a good week? We all having a good week? We all having a good time? I bought another car yesterday. I bought another Mondeo yesterday. So I'm back to driving a Mondeo that I've been doing since, I think, 2006.
I'm back.
Yeah. Push back! Thank fuck, I was rambling.
Oh. Sorry, I tried to be quick.
Very quick.
They don't call me quick piss for nothing.
Yeah, you forgot to wash your hands though. I'm not shaking.
I
your
did
hand.
though. I'm quick. I told you I'm quick.
So yes, questions from the chat. If
there
anyone's
questions
got
in the
that.
chat?
And Savage, we have you for another wee while yet. We can maybe do a wee after party.
Yeah.
Yeah, perfect. Yeah. Real men drive trucks. Fuck off, Ox. All right.
I drive a truck. I drive a pickup truck.
I would love a Ford F-150, 1975, 1980, in around there or something like that, just for the nostalgia of it. I think they're a beautiful vehicle, and Ford all the way. But I've been driving a Vauxhall for fucking 3 months now.
I don't even know what that is.
A Vauxhall. General Motors. You know General Motors?
Yeah.
Right, General Motors Vintage Vauxhall.
Okay.
It's a company over here. They're hateful. Hateful. Are Mondeos more reliable than their US Ford equivalents? Well, considering that I put 250,000 on one vehicle and the only reason I took it off the road was because of the suspension, I would say if a car can do 300,000 mile over here, that's a decent enough wee car. Like,
that's pretty impressive, yeah.
Yeah, I did too many miles. I was doing fucking 360,000 miles. Alright, 36,000 mile a year for like 3 years straight.
Dang.
It's fucking insane.
I did that when I lived over 1,000 miles away, and I would like come back to visit, and I would do it all in one straight shot.
I was doing 700 mile a week. I lived at the bottom of Northern Ireland. My job was in the middle of Northern Ireland, way over to the right, and then my daughter lives in the top left of Northern Ireland. So
nice.
I was like doing a circle of everywhere except County Fermanagh every fucking week.
Nice.
So before we ramble on, I don't think, is anyone
Yeah,
else
are you watching the chat?
I'm looking.
This is your channel,
talking about cars. You're not supposed to be talking about cars. You're supposed to be coming up with questions for Red.
Before my pickup truck, I drove it was an SUV, but it was like a disabled, like with hand controls, because it used to be my dad's and then he can't drive anymore. So I was glad to get a vehicle that didn't have hand controls, because I mean it has like regular pedals too, but it was like,
but you all drive automatics over there, don't you?
Yes, don't get me started. I learned to drive a manual when I was a teenager because my parents gave me a farm truck, and they were like, you can either drive this truck or you can buy your own damn car. And like, I don't know about over there, but cars are fucking expensive over here. And I was not about, as a 16-year-old, like about to buy a car.
Yeah, well, it depends. You can buy cars, you know.
But my wife can't drive a manual. She can't drive it. Like if you give her a car, well, okay, I have forced it on her. Because me and my mom are both like, yeah, give me the manual transmission. So we end up having, so I forced my wife. I was like, if we have this vehicle, like you have to know how to drive it. And she could get by, but like if she tried to like parallel park in that thing, everybody would be fucked.
Yeah, my mate is the same age as me, and he cannot parallel park at all. And
I love parallel parking.
I was in the car with him, no, not the last time because he was out last week, but the time before that when he came out, we went to the shop and come back, and he must have tried about 4 times. I was just, get out of the car and just, and
I'm like you in that regard.
Yeah, it's just, it doesn't matter. Put the fucking car in, park it.
It's so like, it has like steps that are like very straightforward steps. Like you pull up to this point and then you turn the wheels this much, and then you know, like it's you just do it. And like if parallel parking was a freaking sport, oh my god.
Yeah.
I could be a jock.
Yeah, piece of piss. I don't understand. Yeah, it confuses me how people worry. They're all like, gonna hit the front. I'm not gonna hit the front.
No, you're not gonna hit the front.
Yeah.
I understand how front end swing works. It's okay.
Yeah. Drive a forklift for a year. You get, you know, it really, really helps for parallel parking too. Okay, how are we rambling? Questions from the chat, right? How many drugs did you take?
Horse trailer.
How many drugs
did I take
to do this interview, or did MathPig promise you a pot of gold?
I wish there was a pot of gold.
Oh, so do I.
No, he basically just like kept on about it. Like that's the English way to say it, right? Is he just kept on about it.
I don't know any O'Brannons, but I do know one O'Malley. No, I really don't. Kat, how many times a day do you think Jimmy Snow brushes his teeth? Because they feel it's a weirdly frequent amount.
You know what? It probably is though. Like I don't know him like personal enough to like to know about toothbrushing. I would guess a lot because he does like those pearly whites. I am kind of surprised that he doesn't have like Invisaligns. Because I think he did have braces at one point and then just like kind of quit wearing his retainer like a lot of people do. So got some slippage there.
I just realized that, I had your name at the start. Too many names. And then I changed it about halfway through to Savage Minnow, and it's been off center all the whole time. That's annoying. Sorry to the audience for the slightly off center for people with OCD. Right, so on that note, I know we've grabbed Stephen because he agreed earlier, and I'm probably going to send a link to Jeff and Maya, Phoebe. If you want on, just send me a DM and I'll let you know, and I'll send you the link. And other than that, Red, thank you very much for coming on tonight.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
As I say, we were
if you're interested in Pumpkin Gate merch, can I do the things? Can I plug the things?
If you send me your bit in the in Discord, and I'll put it in the live chat.
I was just gonna put it in the StreamYard chat. Can I do it in the StreamYard?
You can put it in there all you want. I'll not see it.
You won't see it.
No,
okay.
I won't see it. No, because my StreamYards is a magic thing. I don't see it. Hold on, we'll make it right. Right now, you can put it in the private chat, and I'll see it. Don't ask. Phoebe is flirting with me, so I think Phoebe is definitely going to come on as well. So we've got Stephen, we've got Phoebe. Awesome. Check your Twitters.
I just watched her. Ooh.
Yes, Savage, I sent to you earlier. So Savage, Phoebe, Savage.
Why is this? Sorry.
Well, Red, have you anything you would like to say? Anything you would like to share apart from your merch? Have you any streams coming up? Have you got a part 2 coming? When's the part 2 non-sec thing happening?
Yes, part 2 is coming next Tuesday. I don't know why this isn't coming up. Sorry. I'll get you links later.
Yeah,
for the merch.
I'll add them. I'm not gonna add them to the fucking description
now. Apparently I have to like fix the link. I think it was when I switched over the name change and everything. So I'm gonna do all of that and make sure I got all the right links everywhere.
What's coming up? What's
part
happening?
2?
What's going on? When's part
2 of the Rise and Fall of the Non Sequitur Show Pumpkin Gate Saga is coming next Tuesday. I do have a stream coming this Thursday that is going to be a reaction to Amberlynn Reed, her live reaction. If you're interested in that, it's a good time. But on Friday, I'm hoping, I've got my fingers crossed that my mom is going to come back for Gamer Mom Cooking on Friday. So that puts part 2 off until next Tuesday, which is good because it'll give me a little bit of time to rework my outline so I can pull out some of those thumbtacks that I stuck up when I was putting a pin in all of those.
I think you ran out of thumbtacks. You didn't have enough on screen.
I did. I had to just like keep sticking a pen in it, and it's gonna hold at least for a week. Hopefully I'll be able to take all of those down next week. And then I know I'm at least gonna have a part 3, if not a part 4.
You will need at least a part 3 because I feel that as good as today was, there's more poking to be made.
Yes.
Poke a bit more.
Yes. There, you know that it was like a lot of places where it was like, I'm just not gonna go down that rabbit burrow right now. We're gonna come back to it. And then I think I am like either part 4 or possibly like part 5 is gonna be like kind of just a little bit of a roundup of like here's where they are now, kind of smaller players.
Yeah. Right. I don't like this new update for how you schedule a stream. It's giving me a freaking calendar, and because it has to be midnight right now with a day change, I don't know. Awkward. So everybody should just subscribe. That's what you should do. Subscribe and all. We'll be back in a minute, 5-10 minutes. You probably have to run into your little granny bladder again. It'll be fine.
Oh, that's a good idea. While we're
so yes, I've sent the link out to a few people, and we'll see you back here maybe 10-15 minutes or so. Go fill your wine, go fill your smoke, go get more weed, and we'll be back with more interesting people than both me and Savage.
And Phoebe's coming too, you said, right?
Pardon?
Phoebe's coming, you said?
I think Phoebe said she was coming. Either that or they were just flat out coming on to me. Of course, I want it in you. So I don't know. I sent them the link.
I think that means that she's coming into the stream. Otherwise, like, I feel a little bit weird knowing about that message.
I don't know. It was in the chat to everybody. So Phoebe, if you, I don't know, want me in the stream, the link's in Discord. So yeah, massive shout out to all the Patreons, all the members.
Can I do a quick little shout out?
You had that 5 minutes ago. You wasted your time.
No, I can't shout out Diana Clarion, the lovely lavender lady. Who, if before you hit that follow button for me, actually, if you could just like go over and give her your little button click. She's just a lovely, wonderful lady who is just an absolute radiant, wonderful person, and I love having her on this planet. And she's going through dialysis right now, and yeah, the lavender lady, Diana Clarion. Just go run and give her a follow. Tell her Red sent you.
Nope. There, links in the chat. I don't know. We're gonna lose views now because yeah. All right. Anyway, thank you all for contributing. Thank you everybody for coming. The members, the Patreons, everybody that contributes to the audience. Wouldn't be anything if you didn't come and watch. It would just be me talking shite to Savage. Although we did that for an hour beforehand.
We'll do that sometimes too. But yeah it's more
later.
Fun with you guys here.
Definitely. Oh, so confirmed. Red likes an audience. On that note, we'll see you back here.
I got that one.
On that note, we'll see you all back here in about 10-15 minutes. People, you have the link. We'll see you soon. And Maya, I'll send you the link in Discord. You can jump into. And yeah, we'll see you back here in about 10-15 minutes. All right, everybody. Bye. Oh, all right, Phoebe. This is the interview. Bye, everybody.